Oh, yes, I am still alive. Not that I really expected anyone to be wondering. But my seasonal depression seems to finally be at an end, and it really went out with a bang when I had a, 8-hour-long episode the other day. Oh. For those of you that have been wondering, when is Adrian going to post another video? Which is like maybe one of you, Jones. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Well, that's going to start happening again. I seriously doubt that any of other than you, Jones, anyone on my subscriber list was sitting around going, what is Adrian going? But anyway, today, or I should say, I guess this morning, because I'm recording this at 4 a.m. I'm on a weird friggin' sleep schedule. I want to tell some stories about a game I've been playing recently. A little game you might have heard of called Dark Souls. I fell in love with this game thanks to Vadi's videos over on his channel. It just made me fall right in love with the... Excuse me for just a second. Fucking hair. It's just like my mother. I'm gonna miss it when it's gone, but right now it's just annoying me. You know what's fucked up? I went into the other room to get my hair tie, and I stepped on a rusty thumbtack. Didn't really go that deep into my foot. It was like a surface wound, but blood still came out. I cleaned it right away. And then I just Google searched tetanus and how to fight it, because I'm a hypochondriac. This is going to be bugging me for weeks. So yeah, now I got another thing to be neurotic about. So I better get this video done before the lockjaw sets in, right? Oh, God. So, Dark Souls. Where was I? VadiVidya. If you play Dark Souls and you don't know who VadiVidya is, get the fuck off my channel and go over to his channel and watch some of his videos. But subscribe to this channel first. Do it. And then subscribe to his, patronize his content, I don't know, do something. Give back to the community, that's all I'm saying. So, in my tenure as a Dark Souls player, a lot of the usual stuff has happened. I've rage quit. I've said I hated the game, which I don't. I really don't. I've compared the game to an abusive relationship, essentially. Just Dark Souls is like a girl that locks me in her basement and then lets me go periodically, and even though I should go to the police, I just keep coming back to her. Because the orgasms are good. But I've compiled a list of a few of the more amusing happenings in this game that have occurred with me. Everybody has stories like this, I'm sure. Most people probably have better ones, because a lot of these come from co-op, and I don't co-op that often. And I'm not one of these people. I don't have any friends where we plan missions together. Hey, let's go take out the vagina dragon in the sewers. All right, I'm gonna leave my summon sign here. Just But a few interesting things have happened. For one, I mentioned earlier on that I have episodes and I had seasonal depression. I have bipolar depression, and if I'm being honest, if you have bipolar depression, handle this series carefully. Because if there's one thing to ruin your day, well, it's Ornstein and Smo. Fuck those two. That was the first time playing Dark Souls that I ever had one of these rage quitty experiences with, well, since I was a kid anyway. When I was a kid, I rage quit in every fucking game. I just remember I was fighting Ornstein and Smo. I didn't have anybody summoned. I didn't notice Solaire's sign over in the corner. So I was fighting them. This is my third time going solo, trying to beat these assholes. And I hear the door open. I was down here in this room. Door opens right as I get killed, and I just yell, "Fuck!" And my brother immediately, "Oh, you're playing Dark Souls? I'll just leave you alone. Good idea." Oh, lordy. But recently, I wrote all this down because I know I'm going to forget some of this shit. Recently, I mentioned the vagina dragon, the gaping dragon, but I've always called it the vagina dragon. I was summoned in the depths by a naked dude. Just some asshole, not wearing any armor or anything. I don't know. I guess maybe were they looking for a challenge? Is the game not hard enough for you with armor? What are you, fucking nuts? You're the reason Dark Souls 3 cranked shit up to criminally insane levels. And to make matters worse, my character was female. And to make matters even more worse... worse. To make matters worse, yet again, he summoned another person. And this had to be premeditated. This had to be one of those people that was like, their friend was online and they was like, come help me fight this boss. Because he summoned another naked dude. What the fuck? And I swear they were trying to mime humping me. I don't know. They did the one did the thing where like you go to block with your weapon, but you just keep tapping the button so your character is like. Long story short, we killed the vagina dragon. Awkward. Just like, wow, summoned by two naked dudes. Dreams do come true. That was the weirdest co-op experience of my life. Now, in another really weird instance, this happened before, early in the game I had stopped just outside the Capra Demon's room. I hate the Capra Demon, by the way. I skip it now that I know how to. A lot of people might not know this. Capra Demon, technically an optional boss. Because if you go down through New Londo Ruins, through that elevator, and you have the Master Key, you can go through the Valley of the Drakes, take the shortcut to Blighttown, skip all the bullshit in Blighttown, go straight to Quelaag, blah 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 blah, murder Spider Waifu, and you're on your way. But, this time I didn't. And I had not turned the game off. I had intended to just run upstairs to get a drink, and then I ended up getting caught in conversation with my brother. Stupid me, I remember, oh shit, the game is still running. I come back downstairs, and this is what I see on screen. I just see some naked phantom just having a go at my character, doing like 1 damage with each hit. I don't know how long they were at it. But like my health bar had decreased by like a 50th of an inch. I don't know what they were trying to prove. As soon as I got back in control... Oh, by the way, I thought maybe they're just trying to play fair, like oh, this person's clearly not here. Well, I'm bored. Tap, tap, tap. No, because here's what happened. I yank out a halberd, and I one-shot them. About 20 seconds later, they invade me again. This time, they have a halberd. Like, did they think copying my weapon was going to help? I mean, technically they do more damage, but it didn't help. I slaughtered them again. And by the way, that is a really rare instance for me, because normally when somebody invades me, they wreck my shit. I'm terrible against human opponents because I'm not a patient individual. I cannot stand the bullshit of trying to fight an invader, because it's always some dipshit who like runs away from me and just hides somewhere and then like zaps me with spells, or they never actually get into combat with me. They just wait for me to hit. Here's what like 99.9% of invasions, this is what they're like for me. Parried. Sheen crit. Somebody summoned me in Anne Orlando. That's my favorite place to get summoned. It gets the highest traffic. Essentially. I've never found a place where I get summoned more than that first bonfire after those fucking archers. By the way, if you want to get past the archers, make sure you have high humanity. If you have the covetous gold serpent ring, equip that. Go through the catacombs, kill all the necromancers. One of them might drop their lantern. Take the lantern to Snuggly the Crow back at the Undead Asylum, and I'm pretty sure she will trade you a fog ring for that. With the fog ring, you can get up that first ramp by the archers, and then peek out of the sides, they still won't see you, and just stun lock them by shooting them in the head with arrows. Just shing, shing, shing. Use poison arrows too, they die quicker. Hardest part in the game, broken. Whatever. Or if you have... You could also potentially have the hidden body spell. If you have the DLC, go save Dusk. You have to kill the Hydra though. But anyways, I get summoned in Anor Londo, and something about that stairwell exploit, where you can jump over the stair banister and just shortcut right to the room with the two big blue-clad sentinels and the one archer, fuck you archer, that never works for me if there's somebody watching. I don't know what it is. If I'm playing alone, if I don't have a summon, if I haven't summoned anybody, haven't been summoned, haven't been invaded, or there's nobody in the room with me, I get it every single time, but something today was just off, and I was dreading it, because the person, of course, that summoned me used that exploit. And now I'm like, well, I'm going to look like a fuckwit if I just run up the steps, run across the rooftop, and take the normal route. Not to mention I'm going to fall behind, so I'm just like... I mess up twice. I'm having a bad day today. That day. Also today, let's be honest, because I stepped on a rusty thumbtack. Third time, not only do I mess it up, I go too far, I fall back to the first floor. And at this point I'm like, okay, no, I just shut the fucking game off. I'm like, no, this is embarrassing now. This is embarrassing and I'm not putting up, I can't do it. I can't do this. Sorry, summon somebody else. Apparently, I can't play this game today. Fuck's sake. Like, of all the things to rage quit over, not being able to get an exploit to work, that really speaks to what an awful day I was having that particular day. This one happened recently. In fact, just yesterday, I want to say it was. I was playing through the DLC. I left my summon sign right outside the Colosseum with Knight Artorias in it. Because in my experience, there is no beating him on your own. Maybe you've done it, maybe you were willing to grind for 111 hours, getting to like just the perfect level to beat him. Or if you have a really decent sorcery build, and you're good at dodging. I have found with like the Tin Crystallization Catalyst, which does double damage, Billowing Dragon Crest Ring, Dusk's Crown, gives you a pretty damn good buff. You can get him down to like half HP in a few seconds when you equip enough spells. Of course, with a sorcery build, you're probably not going to have much in the ways of strength or HP. So you might get wrecked in one hit. Be forewarned. But I get summoned, pretty sure by somebody from Canadania. And the first time we fight Artorias, on my end, he suddenly stops moving. And I'm like, oh, great, glitch. I just start dive attacking this asswipe. And then I get the message, you've been disconnected from the summoner's world. So, we try again. Now we're having correspondences over Xbox Live. We try again. This time, the weirdest thing ever happens. He freezes again, but this time he only had like 2 hits left, so I get him in, and he dies in front of me. He dies. Right before my eyes. And then I see the message, you've been disconnected from the summoner's world. I send this fucker a message like, please God tell me you finished him that time. I got disconnected right at the end. Apparently, Artorias' HP gauge was at 0, but he was still alive and he got one more hit in and one-shot the dude. Fuck. So, third time's the charm, is what I tell myself. Luckily, I was right in this case. We try one more time, and I made it clear, like, whatever you do, just don't stop attacking. Until you see you defeated, just keep swinging away, my friend. This time, it was pretty epic. pretty fun fight. I like co-oping Artorias because he's such a hard-hitting boss. And if you got two people, it just about becomes manageable. But I was basically there to tank damage, which I was doing, I like to think, fairly well. If there's one thing I'm great at, it's tanking. But Artorias had about one more hit left in on him. I was attacking with, I want to say I had the Obsidian Greatsword, which, by the way, one screen describes it as a greatsword, another screen on the info describes it as a great axe. I don't know what that's about. But, last hit, I go for a dive, and I out loud say, "The fight is mine!" And then he uppercuts me. Fuck! That's embarrassing. He didn't kill me, and I did get the last hit, but it's like the game. Every time I do that, it's almost like the game can hear me. That happened in Anor Londo with the archers. The first time I did it, I was like, oh, there's a banister on this ramp, so I'm probably shing right off the edge into the depths below. Happens every time. Do not say anything cocky out loud when you're playing this game. The game will hear you, and it will fuck you. It will wreck your shit. That's just how it is. I think the game is cursed. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's cursed. Now, one of the major parts of this game is the online co-oping. That is, you can summon people to help you, you can be summoned to help them, and alternately you can invade folks. With the cracked red eye orb, the regular red eye orb if you're a dark wraith, and of course as a blade of the dark moon, which is one of my favorites. Not so much anymore, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But one of the reasons I don't do this is because, well, for one, empathy. I was invaded a very long time ago during my first playthrough, right outside of Smo and Ornstein's room, which is apparently just a great room for me. I was having a lot of trouble with those sentinels, because the assholes always jump away from you and fully heal before you can get that last hit in. I was apparently not at a good level to be taking them, and frankly, this was very early in my tenure. I just wasn't that great at the game. Oh, excuse me. Stuffy down here. Give me this. That's the real Estes. Okay. I finally dropped both of them, and I'm like, great, I can summon Solaire now. This was one of the times I figured out that he was over there. And the reason being is, like, Solaire, being the brave and powerful knight that he is, praise the sun, son bros! Being the person that he is, he will always, like, engage enemies, and then he'll take damage. Might not even come through the fog gate with you. So I figure I gotta clear this room first. And then I get invaded. I did not know at the time that when you get invaded, if you go through a fog door, they get sent home. It's the biggest middle finger to an invader, other than just wrecking their shit, which I can't do most of the time, because everyone is better than me. So, this person had the DLC, I did not. They get right up on me. Darkbead. Darkbead hits me like a friggin' shotgun and kills me in one hit. And that instilled this sense in me that, like, I'm not invading anybody. I'm not going to do this. You've made all this progress, and then an invader comes along because they need humanity, and they kill your ass. Like, fuck you. Go. So, I do not invade anybody, except that I do. And here's what I do. This was something I came up with to replace the thrill of killing other players. And for me, it's even better. I will invade people. I will make sure they see me. I will wave, drop some loot, and then fuck off back home. Leaving them confused and doubting everything they ever thought they knew about Dark Souls. Like, several people I did this to immediately messaged me with like, WTF, what was that about? What's going on? Do I know you? Why? In my earlier, I'd actually invade, beat the shit out of them, and then if I get them dead to rights, I just fuck off and leave something for them. Sometimes I turn around and do the, what is it thing, and just let them backstab and kill me, because I don't care. I was cheating at the time. Not really hardcore. That's another reason I don't invade, and it's ruined Blades of the Dark Moon. If you look, I challenge you, get a Book of the Guilty from Oswald of Kareem. I think he sells that. That asshole up in the Bell Gargoyle Tower, who's always like this, who gives you the smug asshole gesture, as I call it, because every time I've ever been killed by an invader, they do that, like, oh, like they're not cheating, because I'm sure they were. At this point, look through the Book of the Guilty. All of Velka's Most Wanted are like level 125, all maxed out stats, and in most cases, all of their items that it shows listed in the info section have a little infinity symbol. I don't even know how to do that. Like, I have a save editor that I've used from time to time to help me skip some of the grind because, like, I did it once legit and that was enough. I have a sense of entitlement. I've been grinding since I was a kid, alright? I grew up with RPGs. I'm sick of doing it. I don't have a lot of time left, especially now that I'm going to get tetanus. So, look at that. Velka's Most Wanted are all, like, unrepentant cheaters, which essentially ruins that covenant, because there's virtually no way to beat them unless you two are cheating. And even then, it's kind of like, do you really want to spend 40 minutes of your time, like, counter-cheating each other? Like, practically all the invasions I've dealt with were just 20 minutes circling each other with shields up, trying to get that first crit, because the first crit is usually the last crit. And it's usually me who gets it, so, fuck you. So that started my whole, oh god. Now I'll do that on my one player, and I'll always send them a message like,
I are 10 friendly family. Lol 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 lol.
Another thing I typically do with co-op, if I get invaded, or if I get summoned, or I summon somebody else, I always leave them humanity, because humanity is the one thing everyone who isn't cheating can really use. That and Titanite. So I always, like, no matter what happens, and because, especially if it's on a game where I'm moderately cheating, because I like the online stuff. I don't like invading, I don't like getting invaded. What I do like is getting summoned and helping, like, newer players get through shit, which is why I tank. I normally nerf down my armor and my weaponry and essentially just absorb damage for it. I'll go in, as soon as I see my summoner take a hit, I just jump in front. I'm like, no. Neo. No! Whoa. So, no matter what happens, if you invade me and I feel like, well, I'm going to have an unfair advantage if this person's not cheating, so I'll drop a twin humanity. Because, and like maybe a great hero soul, that's like 10,000 souls right there. So, no matter what happens, actually I think it's 20,000, you're probably going to get better than what you would if you kill me.
3.
You get humanity! And you get humanity! And you were mean to me in grade school! Fuck off! Okay, now it's time for essentially what I consider the feature presentation, the piece de resistance. A couple weeks ago, I had the most entertaining experience with this game as far as co-op is concerned. I was in the Darkroot Garden, just basically fucking around, because I was about ready to go to bed. So I'm just peppering the Hydra with arrows. I decide, well, this is going nowhere, and I don't really feel like doing this. It was 5 a.m. I'm just about ready to turn in for the night, technically the morning. So I pause. Well, there is no pause feature, as we all bloody know. I open the menu and I go to the quit option, and then right as I'm about to click it, I get an invasion sign. Oh, bloody dear. When you get invaded, you can no longer use the quit option. You can't use Homeward Bones. Essentially, the game traps you in that area, and you gotta deal with the invader. Or do you? I'm just thinking, this is right after I read through the Book of the Guilty, so my first thought is, well, there's a better than good chance that this person's cheating. There's also a reasonably good chance that this person is just generally better at the game than me. I don't feel like spending 45 minutes circling one another when I'm so tired. Fuck it. I just clicked the box. I just turned off my Xbox 360. Anyway, next day, I get back online, start playing again, and I see I have a message, and it's from, lo and behold, the person who invaded me. I'm not going to share any gamer tags or anything like that, blah, blah, blah. They're like, what the hell, man? I wasn't going to hurt you. Just seeing how you were. I explained to them what happened, and now we're actually in a full-on conversation. And it essentially becomes apparent to me that I'm talking to probably a kid, not that young of a kid. Their gamer tags seem to imply that their birthday was in, like, early 2000. And I know that's not a guarantee, because several people can play on the same gamer tag, same profile, what have you. But they probably were more than 4 years younger than me, therefore they're an itty-bitty kitty in my book. He's a little baby, yeah, so cute. I also basically confirmed that they're a new player to this particular game. A lot of people started on Dark Souls 2. Okay, this has nothing to do with the video other than that it's Dark Souls related. Look at this blood stain. What the fuck just happened? What killed him? That's the stupidest death I've ever fucking seen! Why is the HUD area littered with bloodstains? How are you retards getting killed here? Look at this shit! No, you know what? Dumbest death I've seen. What the fuck is wrong with people? I don't care if you're a new player. Oh, look at this. I wonder what this is. Wonder what happened to this dumbass. Jump off? Did you jump off? Did you jump off? He jumped off. Oh my god. Shed a lot. This place is littered with noobs. Filthy casuals. I feel like Dark Souls 2, generally speaking, in some ways it's a lot easier. In other ways, not so much. The stiff controls really piss me off in that game. We get to talking. I'm just giving out sagely advice that I stole from Vadi's videos. We're talking, I'm giving out all kinds of advice, like, oh, you need an ember? Well, you know, the one ember is in this location, and stop in here and get a Stora's straight sword before you go to the catacombs, because the skeletons put themselves back together if you don't have divine weapons. You're probably going to want to upgrade your Estus flask with the souls located here, here, and here. All that shit. Finally, I get a message one day from this person that they are stuck in the Tomb of Giants. Oh my, haven't we all been there? In fact, let me read you a few of these. Hey man, I wasn't gonna hurt you. I wasn't gonna hurt you, just checking in on you, that's all. I was even gonna give you the Dragon Head Stone, to which I actually replied, and I wish I could see the exact reply, but it was something along the lines of, oh yeah, and make my character look ugly? No thank you. Then I told them about the Warriors of Sunlight. I explained how the Covenant works, how you're more likely to be summoned, less likely to be invaded, and how you glow orange, which is just friggin' awesome. Okay, but it won't appear. Also, I'm level 96. Is level 100 the max level? Oh, these naive children. I basically explained you have to kill a dragon and then go pray at the altar of our nameless king. I didn't realize the whole dragon thing would be taken literally. I always just assumed you could not get past that without killing the dragon. Silly me. Challenge accepted. Okay, and the next message. Fuck, I died! Even with Havel's armor, the best armor in the game, I'm still roast hollow! So about 3 hours later and 100 messages later, Kay, I killed the Drake. Now what? Okay, now here's where their trouble began. Welp, I need souls for 40 faith, so I'm heading to the catacombs. And then if you read between the lines, with no divine weapons, no lantern, and no prior knowledge of what the fuck I'm getting into. It's alright though, I can get souls. Very next message. I'm scared! These fuckers won't stay dead. Only way to actually kill them is to drop them in the pit. Okay, fuck the catacombs. I'm scared shitless. So I left my summon sign at the first bonfire, and I get this message. Well, I'm too far gone. Can't go back. Help me! I can't get out! I'm in the Tomb of Giants and I can't get out! I found the exit, but it's sealed by the Great Lord's power! What the fuck do I do now? I can't summon you! It was about this time I realized the person is probably out of humanity and running around in the catacombs completely hollow. This kid is completely terrified. Please help, I don't want to start over. Yeah, if I had grinded all the way to level 96 before even going to Anor Londo, I wouldn't want to start over either. I'd probably never want to play the game fair again. Hell, I didn't do that, and I've barely ever played the game legit ever again after that first run through. So trying to figure out where the hell they are, no, I'm at the second bonfire and he already kicked me down. Where all the hell dogs are. Is that their actual name? Because I've never looked it up, but that's a good name for them. The fuck are those? Miyazaki. What the fuck are those? Why did you put them in the game? It's bullshit. These enemies are bullshit. So at this point I suggest, maybe get yourself a save editor, just to get you out of the fucking place. I don't know. If they're having trouble just finding their way out, maybe they are truly screwed and beyond my saving. It's like, I'm no tech whiz and I can't afford all that stuff. Yeah, it's free and it's really easy to use. If I could figure it out, anybody could figure it out. God damn it, I can't find your sign! Yeah, you have no humanity left. That doesn't work when you're hollow. At this point, I've essentially... I can't be summoned, so I just went to the catacombs myself and found the way out myself, which was surprisingly easier than I expected, because normally I have the, the Lord Vessel, and I just warp. So then I relayed this information, and I even left orange sign soapstone messages just with here, in all the pertinent areas. They apparently made it out, and then I get this message. There's no way to climb out of Pinwheel's room, though. There is a developer message outside of Pinwheel's room that says shortcut ahead. It is always there because it is part of the game. I found it! And I died. I'm in a room similar to Pinwheel's. Oh god, that shit's... Get the fuck out of that room! That's the one with 100 and fuck giant skeletons in it! Go! Oh my god, I found Pinwheel's room! And then I get this fucking message. I'm free! So, yeah, they got out. Job well done. I point them in the right direction of where to go next. And, haven't heard from them in a while, you know. You've been quiet lately. Smooth summoning out there. But anyways, if you're gonna play Dark Souls, just let me impart one more piece of advice to you. Never... Oh, shit. Gee, excuse me for... I gotta take care of this. Ugh. Alrighty. Get good, motherfucker! It's the scene from fucking Titanic. What the fuck is going on over there? I mean, I know how it looks, but I also know that something's gonna jump out and try to stab me, so, hopefully not with its dick. Try head and... Other people had the exact same idea. Ah, my fucking control! Tell me that doesn't look like the friggin' room with the... Yeah. This is like the third time I've seen this message in front of a female character. What the fuck is wrong with people? Christ.